Have you ever been driving on one of those kind of boring, just okay roads and wondered if there's something better than this? Well, the truth is that sometimes you have to take those boring, mundane, routine roads to find things that are spectacular. Today, Bill and I, we were headed home to Ohio from western Pennsylvania, but we didn't want to just drive home. We wanted to stop and see how many spectacular waterfalls we could find near the road on the way. Welcome to the 20-foot cascade of Freedom Falls. Although this falls is well known to the locals, you might have to do a little digging as an outsider to find your way. Not very far away from those falls, you can also find the ruins of Rockland Furnace. This furnace was built in 1832 by Robert McConell to produce iron. Power to run this furnace came from a mill dam just upstream that was built in 1818. The remnants of this furnace are somewhat unique. The race and wheel pit are both still intact. We don't know much about the builder of this furnace, but we do know this. Unfortunately, he and his wife drowned when a barge carrying pig iron from this furnace sank in the Allegheny River. There's not a well-defined trail leading down to the furnace, so make sure you watch your step as you go up and down the hill. When Bill walked back up the hill from the furnace to the road that morning, he also noticed something fairly unique. He discovered frost flowers on the way. If you've driven out of your way down to see the falls in the furnace, you might as well drive an extra half-mile down towards the end of the road, where you can discover the Rockland Tunnel. In the early 1900s, the Pennsylvania Railroad decided that it needed to straighten certain sections of track so it could shorten the amount of time it took a train to travel between Buffalo and Pittsburgh. The railroad started construction of the Woodhill Tunnel in 1913. And even though they had two different shifts of workers building this tunnel, it took until 1916 to open it. The tunnel was eventually renamed the Rockland Tunnel, and trains used it up until the late 1900s. In 2003, it was then transformed into part of a local multi-use trail. I highly recommend walking the entire half-mile length of this beautiful and dark tunnel. But I also recommend that you remember to bring your flashlight. In a nearby creek bed, Bill also discovered a collection of rock stacks, also known as cairns. Although stacks of rocks have been used for various purposes for thousands of years, today you'll generally find rock stacks built either for navigation purposes or for artwork. There's actually quite a bit of controversy today over whether cairns should ever be built for artwork or should be reserved solely for aids in navigation on remote trails. Because if someone were to build an extra rock stack or cairn in a place like that, it could cause somebody to completely lose their way in the wilderness. Although it's almost human nature to stop and enjoy the beauty of a small collection of cairns like this one, if everybody starts building their own, this place would become completely cluttered and these cairns could become an eyesore. The movement of large rocks for cairns can also negatively impact species that live beneath them and accelerate erosion. So just think twice before either building or dismantling an already built cairn. A little less than 10 miles from Freedom Falls, the Rockland Tunnel, and the Rockland Furnace, you can also find the Kennerdell Overlook, which is perched on a rock about 300 feet above the Allegheny River below. This wasn't our first visit to the Kennerdell Overlook. In fact, it happens to be the place where back in the fall of 2022, I took one of my favorite pictures of my then 82-year-old mother. After the overlook, the road drops steeply down to cross the Allegheny River, and after that crossing, we headed onward to our next waterfall destination. Welcome to the 20-foot cataract of Springfield Falls, also known as Leesburg Falls. If you look across the creek beyond the falls, you'll notice the remnants of an old iron furnace. This furnace dates back to the early 1800s and was operated by a water wheel. The falls themselves are located on Pennsylvania State Game Land 284, but the furnace across the creek, that's located on the private property of a local brewery. While you're visiting the falls, you might also notice a couple of historic buildings, including this old cabin and the William Scollard House that was built in 1840. It's named for the iron master who lived here for many years. It also happens to be for rent on Airbnb. Our last destination for waterfall hunting that day was the nearby McConnell's Mill State Park.
Oh, to be a kid again, to feel the sun upon my skin, to laugh and play until the sun goes down. Oh, to feel the little joys, to never make one single choice, and know that nothing's gonna stress me out. Oh, at least for now. Oh, to be a kid again, to feel the breeze creep up my skin, to be so full of life and without care. Oh, to love the little things, the ones that we can't seem to see, 'cause everyone around us has gone blind. Oh, we're not sure why.
If you've ever been to Lanterman's Mill in Mill Creek State Park in Ohio, you might be struggling with a little bit of deja vu here. But if you're anything like me and you look back at the video you took when you visited that place, you'll discover that the creek's going the wrong way. It's a completely different waterfall. There's an extra bridge, and the covered bridge is completely open. So much for deja vu. Although I know there are plenty of other beautiful waterfalls in this area, most of them required walking, something I just couldn't do much of right now. But despite the limitations imposed on us by my peg leg crutch, I hope you've enjoyed visiting all these waterfalls and beautiful places that we visited on our way home to Ohio. And if you come back next time, we'd like to share just a little piece of our home state of Ohio with you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully, in the meantime, until you come back again, you'll go out and find your own adventure.